Climate Change 180. For over a century, our industrial world has been pushing nature out of our lives. We paved it, poisoned it, and replaced it with tidy lawns and barren gravel. But now we're facing a crisis: climate change, mass extinction, rising heat. And maybe the fix isn't some billion-dollar breakthrough. Maybe the fix is already growing right under our feet. What if we embraced the wild plants we call weeds, not as pests, but as planet savers? A free, zero-effort solution that heals the air, the soil, and the climate just by letting it grow. Planet savers. Plants make this planet livable. Before animals, before us, they were already at work, turning carbon into oxygen, cooling the air, building the soil. They've been running Earth's life support system for over 1 billion years. Some of them got in our way. They competed with crops, grew too fast, spread too far, and yes, left unchecked, they can cause problems. But we overreacted. We declared war on all of them, even the harmless ones, and in doing so, we lost something powerful. These plants still pull carbon from the air. They still give us oxygen and feed our pollinators. It's time to bring them back, in the right places for the right reasons. Let the planet savers help us again, for free. Lawn grass, gotta have it. We didn't just replace nature, we declared war on it. We scraped the land bare, poured chemicals into the soil, and planted the same shallow-rooted grass from coast to coast. We called it landscaping, we called it curb appeal. But the real cost? It's staggering. In the US alone, we maintain over 40 million acres of lawn grass, more than any other irrigated food crop. Lawnmowers burn 200 million gallons of gas every year, releasing millions of tons of CO2. Most lawns need weekly mowing. That's billions of hours lost to noise, labor, and emissions. And for what? Grass doesn't feed us, it doesn't restore ecosystems. It drinks billions of gallons of water, demands fertilizer, and gives nothing back. This isn't just inefficient, it's self-inflicted ecological damage on a national scale. And it doesn't stop with grass. Next, gravel, concrete, and the myth of low maintenance. Gravel and concrete. We didn't just cut nature down, we sealed it shut. In the name of low maintenance, millions of homeowners replaced living soil with gravel and concrete. It looks tidy, it seems simple, but it comes at a serious cost. If just 15% of US homes use gravel or concrete instead of plants, that's over 870,000 acres of sealed ground. And most of it, about 70%, is gravel. The rest is poured concrete. Producing and installing all that hardscape generates nearly 15 million metric tons of CO2. Why so much? Gravel must be blasted, crushed, and hauled, heavy work done by diesel machines. Concrete is even worse. Making cement releases CO2 from chemical reactions and burns fuel at extreme temperatures. So we burn fuel, release carbon, and cover the land, all to stop nature from growing. What could we be doing with this land instead? Let life grow. What if we let nature grow again? Native plants, the ones we call weeds, aren't just low maintenance, they're powerful. If we simply stop maintaining our lawns, just the lawns, not even touching the gravel or concrete, and let native plants take over, we could restore 40 million acres of land. That alone could absorb over 1.7 billion metric tons of CO2 every year, more than the entire US transportation sector emits. And it would produce over 140 million metric tons of oxygen, enough to support hundreds of millions of people. These living systems are incredibly efficient. They cool the soil, clean the air, hold water, and rebuild the ground beneath us, all without wires, motors, or maintenance plans. They create space for life, not just microbes and worms, but butterflies, bees, and maybe even a hummingbird or two. Not as decoration, but as part of the system. We don't need to design it from scratch, we just need to stop pushing it away, because the solution is already here, and it grows for free. Nothing's perfect. Native plant gardens aren't perfect. Like any living system, they need a little attention. At the end of each growing season, you'll probably need to rake it down. Just a few hours a year and a compost pile. That's usually all it takes. Yes, some people worry about bugs or allergies, but the bigger challenge isn't what grows, it's how people see it. We've been trained to believe that tidy, empty lawns are good and wild plants are neglect. That nature is a threat, something to spray, cut, and keep at a distance. But that's a story we can unlearn. And if we do, we get back something more valuable than curb appeal, a yard that actually gives back. Native plants make sense. If we let native plants take back our lawns, the impact would be enormous. Just by replacing existing lawns, not gravel, not pavement, we could restore 40 million acres of living land. That land could absorb over 1.7 billion metric tons of CO2 each year. That's enough to offset about 35% of total U.S. emissions. And that's just from the plants themselves. It doesn't even count the emissions we'd stop by ending lawn maintenance. No more 200 million gallons of gasoline burned every year. No more billions of gallons of water pumped and processed. No more pesticides and fertilizers made, shipped, and spread. No new technology, no new infrastructure, just a shift in mindset from mowing to growing. If we let that happen, nature could take a huge chunk out of the climate crisis for free.